Jason effing Tatum. What a monster performance in Game 7, win or go home. And Tatum said, I'm taking over this game like it took over the fourth quarter last game. What a performance. 51 points. He couldn't miss in this game.
Yeah, it was incredible. And, I mean, he started the game pretty hot too, but that was from inside the arc, right? I think he only finished the first half making 1 3-pointer. And then in that second half was really when he started taking off from the inside, from the outside. And it was because he was hunting out Joel Embiid. It didn't matter. He would just get that switch and he would go. He'd get that switch, in and out, step back 3, and he was just dominating. They tried throwing a blitz at him. He said, okay, I'm swinging this thing around. They tried throwing a zone at this Celtics offense, and nothing was working for the Sixers.
Tatum outscored the Sixers 17-10 in the third quarter. But can we talk about that? What you were just detailing.
Yeah.
They were hunting Embiid.
Yes.
Why do you let that happen? Now, a couple of times, I'll say this. I thought Robert Williams set a hell of a screen that really forced Embiid to have to come up. He set a great screen on PJ Tucker, who was trying to fight through it initially.
Yeah.
But they were switching every time. And I'm sitting there going, we are all at home right now. We're not on the sideline coaching an NBA team, but we're all sitting at home going, why are they allowing the switch to happen?
That was one of my most frustrating things. I think because so many people after this game are used to just dumping it all on Doc Rivers. Oh, he can't do anything. He can't get past. He can't go to an NBA Finals, whatever you want to say. I would say my one thing that I didn't like is that him as an experienced coach at this level, not making the correct adjustments for his team. Sure, you're trying by, okay, let's go to a zone. Okay, let's blitz Jason Tatum. None of it was working. Like, you got to inspire your guys differently. So how about just play straight up man, get over that screen, and have Joel Embiid more in the middle, so then his presence is being felt as a rim protector. I just didn't understand it in this Game 7.
That's it. You pull Embiid away from the basket, that's a win. That's a win for the Celtics. And that's just a brutal way to end the season for the Sixers. We'll talk about them in a second, but for Boston, to see Tatum do what he did today, he did have 51 points. He also had 13 rebounds, 5 assists, a couple of steals. It was outrageous. This performance in a Game 7, 51 points. And you think about all the experience he has now as a young player in this league. I feel like you learn more about players in these moments.
Yes.
We can talk regular season all the time, but how are you fighting through the struggles? Last year during the finals, he fought through it. Whatever, banged up, tired, whatever. He wanted to get his body ready for these moments. There were times in this series, hell, last game.
That's it.
He was on track to have one of the worst playoff games ever. Closed well. And to play like he did in this game, I don't know, it just elevates him, in my opinion.
He has the experience, which obviously is going to help him season after season to elevate his game and become that the best player that he wants to be in this league. But at the same time, what I find really fascinating about him is that he is still young and he's capable of adjusting his mind mid-game to turn it on and to stay mentally strong, to be there for his teammates. And I mean, Deuce, you and I were talking about in some of these games in this series where it's like, what is his shot selection? There's times he looks like a star, and then there's other times he just looks like another player. On games like this, it was great to see him have a consistent, full, all-around Game 7.
He's a star.
A star.
And he's 25 years old.
Oh, my God.
And I thought the Celtics as a whole played amazing defense.
Yeah.
And part of the issue, they were trying to force feed Embiid, which I get. I thought Al Horford did a hell of a job in this game.
How does he keep turning back time? Like, if it's a more important game, he goes, okay, I need to be even younger than I was before. And he just looked active. He looked like pumped to be there. Like, he knew what was at stake. He understood this being a win or go home situation, and he did a phenomenal job, obviously with his long arms, contesting shots, and just being so much more of that big presence for the Boston Celtics on their defensive end.
Defending without fouling is such a big deal. Embiid finishes with 15 points on 5 of 18. And look, he had a hell of a year, MVP.
Yep.
But it's just, every time I watch the Sixers, for as much talent as they have on the roster, it just never feels connected. And of course, a team like Boston, who's very connected, especially defensively, can make you look bad. But today, Embiid needed help more than ever. Where was James Harden? Harden did not look like he wanted to shoot. How many times did you see Harden drive to the basket and kick out?
Yeah.
He did not want to shoot.
I didn't understand that.
He took 11 shots.
There was floaters available for him, even if it was Al Horford who was coming up or whoever else that was being super active on him. I mean, he was hooking guys left and right and finding a way to get that path to the basket, but just wasn't capitalizing. So yeah, that was really interesting seeing what you got from James Harden, who, you never know what you're going to get with him sometimes, right?
In the playoffs, I feel like we do know. Except in this series, he had a couple 40-point games.
Saying.
But it's just like these big moments, you go, where are you?
Yeah.
And there are times, and I'm not trying to act like I'm a body language expert, but you're watching, you're like, do you care? Like,
I'm glad you brought this up.
So they rolled over fast
That's
today.
it.
And look, it was an ugly third quarter, but that was so
care.
disappointing to see them just kind of mail it in after that.
It's Mother's Day. How disrespectful to all the moms that were watching, to all their mothers that were watching. And to be serious, though, it did feel like they had given up. Once Boston took that lead in the third, it was like, all right, well, we had a good season. You could see it in their body language, the way that they were playing defense, the way that they weren't playing defense. And yeah, it was an embarrassing finish for the Sixers, who had so many great things going for them this season.
Same thing happened at the end of Game 6. The game was still in reach, and you're going, "What, Philly? You don't give up yet.
Yes.
What is happening?"
Yeah.
And for the Sixers, they have not made the conference finals since 2001. Hell, the Sacramento Kings last made it 2002.
Come on.
Isn't that wild?
That's a great stat.
So now it's going to be interesting to see where Philly goes from here, right? Harden can opt out, become a free agent. There's so much talk about him maybe going back to Houston, which is completely weird. What do they do to shape this team around Embiid? Is Doc back after 3 seasons as head coach? A lot of big-time questions after the Sixers lose a Game 7 in this fashion. But what a performance by the Celtics. Now we get Celtics Heat Conference Finals yet again. Hey, if you like what we're doing, can you do us a favor? Just please hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to. We're going to be creating content each and every day. So make sure you're locked in with us. Thank you.